We are in Vegas again. Say hello, James.
Hey, Vegas, baby.
So we are in Vegas for Affiliate Summit. It's early January. We are at the MGM. You can see Top Golf, pools. Got a nice shot at the airport. Gotta say, sitting out here smoking cigars and watching planes come in. We never knew how many planes come in like every couple minutes into Vegas. It's absolutely insane. There's one actually landing right there and another one right behind it. It's like literally all day long, about every 2 minutes. So we're in the MGM Signature. Last time I stayed, actually I stayed in that tower right there, and I had the view of the Strip on the other side. So anyway, so I'll show you around a little bit. We got in yesterday morning. We first class, right? JetBlue.
Mint.
Yeah,
literally.
I'll tell you, a 5-hour flight felt like you're floating on air.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great. So here's the room. Got some views on this side too, of course. So obviously you got your bathroom, all that fun stuff. This is actually pretty cool. TV comes up out of the desk. Pretty interesting, right? Over here we have the kitchen. Another bathroom. So last time we were here, we actually had a much bigger room. I gotta tell you, this room I actually like a little better because we have the kitchen, which is cool, and the balcony. So it's kind of just cool, just chilling outside in the balcony. But you know, here's the other room. So this guy kind of has like a mini area, fridge and whatnot, but the full kitchen is definitely pretty cool. All right, so I figured we switch cameras, make it a little easier to talk to everybody here. Tomorrow is the actual show. So Affiliate Summit, we are here mainly because, well, obviously James is here for his own business himself, but obviously hanging out in Vegas is fun either way. But for me, obviously, like I tell everyone, let me go do the hard work. Let me do the trips, spend the money, put the time and effort in, and then just give you what I learn. So that's what I'm here for. Learn whatever I can. Obviously, there's certain things for me, certain softwares that I'm looking for, like tracking software, etc. SMS platforms. So you never know who you're going to meet and how you can take your career to the next level at these types of shows. So it's always good to at least try them all out once, at least, just to see what's going on. But this show is going to be good for anybody that drives leads for any business. So that's pretty much what you're doing, right? You're trying to drive leads for your business. So that's one thing. If you ever wanted to get involved into affiliate marketing or lead generation as its own business, or even with your current business, this is a great show for that. There's another show in March called LeadsCon. It's here. They're also, both of these shows, Affiliate Summit, LeadsCon, are in New York in around August, September time. So really, they are good shows to go to, if you're trying to do, anything online marketing. And you never know what new technology is out there or what companies are doing, what service they provide. So, so that's that. So figured we go into a little bit more about what we've learned on why people do not, I guess the best way to put it, why people do not take that next step to change their financial future. And I saw late last night, I usually go through my Facebook feed once a day on my personal account. And last night we got back here, 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
It's later than that.
Yeah, so it was, about 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning last night. We sat the whiskey down and just watching the crowd.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you,
that's a great show.
They put on a good show, all the people walking by.
Walking back and forth.
It was very interesting. But anyway, so I saw this video from Tim Sykes, who is, an e-learning person, I guess you can call him, but he does penny stocks. And he was on the Steve Harvey show. So I watched this video, and forget about the specific business, because there's a lot of people selling these types of businesses. There are people obviously who are successful in their own way, Some obviously a lot more successful than others, and they're all trying to teach other people. Obviously, for one reason is to make money, and the other reason is there is it's very fulfilling, I guess you can say, to help other people succeed. And James has succeeded, and a lot of people are making money doing this. And I got to tell you, it's really cool to see people succeed from something that you just put together one day, and it's like, oh well, here's the knowledge I have. Here you go, run with it. So it's really cool. It really is. But watching that video, I actually took some notes. So Steve Harvey, they said it much better. And what I'm going to do is take that video and I'll send you guys a link, or I'll post a little bit of it at the end of this video, because I want you guys to hear it from them. Because it's a really, really good video on how they say it. Because again, it doesn't matter what you want to do. I'm not saying that you have to do this or whatnot. Just for financial freedom for yourself, to change your future, where most people don't realize how, I'm not going to say the word easy, but how much easier than they thought it would be, right. I guess is the best way to put it, when they actually achieve that success. And the number one thing is just not giving up. That's it. I don't care what you do in life, right? Whether it's school or college or, whatever, even raising kids. I mean, just don't give up. Everything's hard, it's not... I'm not saying that this is easy or any business is easy, but as long as you don't quit, you will have success. Right. I know for you, when you started doing this, you understood what it took to run a business and grow a business, which is good. But even if you go back to, because a lot of people look at us, and a lot of people look at you and say, oh, you had some success already. Right. But you never did this.
No, exactly.
Right. But even go back to your first business. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you quit after the first month or 2 months, nothing would happen.
Yeah, nothing would happen.
But because you obviously put the time and effort to and push forward, even though it took maybe longer than you thought it would, or whatever the case may be, you were successful.
I also think, Phil, a lot of times, and we hear from people all the time, is like they almost don't believe, not so much in themselves, but that they can do better. Mm-hmm. It seems like a lot of times, people don't really understand. They don't want to take that next step. Almost like we talk about, they get in their own way. Like sometimes if you aren't really out there learning new things and understanding things, you actually convince yourself that that's not possible. And, in this world, in this space, and even tomorrow at the show Affiliate Summit, I mean, we will be learning about companies that make a lot of money and people that do a lot of things, and nobody's ever heard of them. But what happens is, if you're never involved in that space, even in the MCA business, people make really millions. And if you're not involved in that world, you may think it's very difficult or unachievable. And what Phil has set up for us, because I was never a part of this world, you mentioned my other business. So when I learned about this space, I never knew it existed. And then when I started really researching it and learning about what's there and what opportunities there are there, it's just incredible. And a lot of the things, like Phil mentioned, we saw that video from Tim Sykes, and he'll put it on there for you. And, that's just a different business model. And there are other ones out there. But that one, for example, one of the things that I first said when I saw it was, you still have to put money into that business to kind of really make any money. I've invested in penny stocks, and I didn't do well. But that's not an area that I wanted to even go into. Whereas this system I really enjoy, because I get to talk to people. And the thing about it is, learning from that and building off of that. But what we find oftentimes is people really almost convince themselves that they can't do it or that it's not possible. And they don't really take the time to really learn another way to improve their financial picture. So here we are in Vegas, 2018. So now, a lot of times people make the New Year's resolution. I'm not saying for you to make a New Year's resolution, but what I'm saying is maybe take a look at your life and really see what you want out of it, and understand that what Phil put together here is a way that you can really assess what you can do for your future. And if it's not this for whatever reason, just think about that, because you have a great life to lead and really move forward with things. And we're here. I'm learning still. I'm moving things forward for myself, and I have different reasons for being here. But what we're doing is we're trying to bring to you the knowledge that Phil has, and that's the thing. He's very transparent. He's sharing with you things that you maybe you don't have the resources to do or the access to do it. So leverage what we're experiencing. and sharing with you so that you can build your business and you can build your financial future. But I think that happens a lot, right?
Yeah, so going back to that Steve Harvey video, Steve Harvey right at the end said something like, if you dread the alarm clock every day,
right,
pretty much make a change. If you dread waking up, make a change. And just start. Be patient, right? What were they saying? They were saying be patient, take it step by step,
right.
and for my thing, I always say, just have the do not quit attitude.
Exactly.
And as long as you do that, you will have success in whatever it is that you want to do. You want to do penny stocks, do penny stocks. You want to get into real estate, get into real estate, whatever it is. Right? So it just comes down to how much money do you have to invest, how much resources you have. But obviously pick something that fits you, fits your lifestyle, fits maybe some experience you already have. But you don't need experience. That's the cool thing. You really don't need experience in, like, if you're like a sales guy, then yeah, find something that maybe goes across the sales platform, right? Like, if you, like they say, if you can sell cars for Honda, you can sell cars for any dealership, right? So if you can sell, you can sell. It doesn't really matter what business you get into. That's what you say about online marketing. Once you learn how to do online marketing, you can jump into any business. It doesn't matter. You want to generate leads for business loans, local restaurant, construction companies, health insurance. It doesn't matter once you actually start learning it. Think about it. A marketing company, just a traditional online marketing company, they haven't done marketing for every industry, every business ever existed, but they have no worries, right? They don't just say, oh, we only do this. Say, any company, come to us, we'll help you out, because it doesn't matter. So a lot of people I've seen is they overthink it, right? They ask, of course, asking questions is good, but where it's like they have literally so many questions and it's an never-ending list of questions. It's like, well, you just got to, at one point in time, you just got to jump into it and just do it, because a lot of those questions just be answered as you do it. And you just got to take the chance, whatever direction you want to go in. You just got to take that risk, jump it.
If I can interject, I've heard a phrase, I think it's called paralysis of analysis, where you're just stuck in that analyzing phase, just asking questions, and all you do is you stay there. Mm-hmm. You just keep asking the questions, and you just keep going, but you don't take the action. Yep. And that's what you're saying. Like, you take that leap of faith. And if you can't believe in yourself, and that's the worst thing in the world. You have to have at least a confidence in yourself, and know whatever you do, try to have a trusted resource that you can work with and benefit from. But yes, paralysis of analysis, and people do that all the time. They stay there.
Yeah, I see it all the time. Where people just at the end of the day, they're just overthinking it. Right. You just got to move forward. I've seen people literally just to figure out what the name of their website. And they never get past that because they're thinking about it. Oh, I wanted the perfect website name. Who cares? I've always been a person. I just do it.
Right.
Well, something that people actually don't know about me, is when I first started doing this whole e-learning stuff, I actually sold it before I ever even created the training. I just went out and sold it, and just to see if it would even sell. Now, what would maybe somebody else do that doesn't move forward is they put so much time into the training first, and they never actually finish it, so they don't even know if it's ever going to sell, right? So for me, that's just me. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it. It's just the way I do it. I'm not. You can do it however you want, but at one point in time, you just got to take that leap forward. And it took me even getting into lead gen, doing lead generation myself, in the business loan broker and everything. I wanted to start doing it in 2011. I didn't start until late 2013, early 2014, when I first did it. So it even took me over 2 years to finally make that jump. So I get it. I understand why people don't do things. I didn't know if I could do it. I had no idea. I had the confidence, but I just wasn't in that position to make the leap. So I totally understand why people don't make the leap, but eventually I did. So all I'm saying is just do it, because I dropped my current business at the time, and I turned it off basically at a consulting company. And I said, screw it, just because I knew I could make it work. And I had that confidence in myself. So as long as you have the confidence in yourself to do it, and you know what, even if you don't have the confidence in yourself, just try it anyway. Because one thing I also have seen, and we've mentioned this before, is we talk about fear.
Right. Yes.
And we talk about people, just being scared to take the leap or to start that new journey. And now what happens is once you cross over it turns into excitement.
Right.
So the fear turns into excitement once you actually do it. Now you're excited, and I see it. People, say, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do this," but then I see like another list of people when they do it, they're like, "Oh, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited." This goes back to the first video, one of the first videos that we made when we got interviewed on that CBS show. We made a video, and I said, I'm so nervous. From that Friday to that Monday, I had knots in my stomach. I was so nervous. Do I want to go down this road of brand building? Do I want to build my own brand? And I started that in August, right? Or September? I think it was September or whatever. And right now, so it's January, right? So that was only like 4 months ago. And really what happened was I was so nervous. But then once we did it and the interview was over, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I can do this. I'm like, I know I can do this now. And that has now progressed. Now we're going to do another video specifically on that stuff and like where we come from, but I've lived it, myself. And every person's the same in terms of you got to start somewhere, right? Even that, any big e-learning guy you can think of, and there's a lot of them, they all at one day had nothing. They all one day didn't have a business. They all had day one of their business, whatever business they're in. We all start the same exact way. And some people take longer, right? And I mentioned this before, I won't mention names, but there's a big guy out there that made $5 million in a certain business that he's in. And this is someone that I looked up to. I mean, I say I've been following him since about 2006 or so when I started doing stuff online. And I've been watching for over 12 years, and I watched a video where he made $5 million over the last 5 million over the last 5 years, I think it was, and I made $5 million over the last 3 years. I'm like, holy crap! I actually made more money than him, and that was really interesting to me, and I was just like shocked, So that was really, really cool for me, obviously, because in 2006 when I first started, and even going to 2013. When I made these certain jumps and moves, I never thought that I could ever achieve the success I've had today. Never. I mean, when I first started making money online, I told myself, all right, I just want to make like $100 a day. Let me just get to $100 a day. Start paying my bills. And that's it. That's how I started. And now, it's like they hit progressions, right? So for 2017 was the first year I've ever made $2 million in 1 year working from home. So that was a big milestone. Now I'm like, oh, can I get to 5?
Right.
If going back to 2006 or even 2013 when I started doing this, if you told me, oh wow, you're gonna make that much money in a couple of years, I'm like, I mean, sure, yeah, it'd be great, but I'm like, how is that possible? How could I do it? But as it's grown and grown and grown, I'm like, look back, I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe that it's actually happened. So we're all the same, all the same. Yeah, so what else? You want to make it simple, right? You want to take it step by step. Don't think too far ahead. Don't look at me. Don't even look at James and where he's at now. Don't just say, all right, I'm going to take it day by day. I'm just going to try to make $10. I'm just going to try to make $100. That's it. That's how you have to start. My first day I ever generated, put up a Facebook ad, I set a budget of $20 a day. Hey, you can set it down to $1 a day. That's fine. But I spent $20 in a day. I think it was around like, I think my first month was really that's my first day was $20, but obviously it went up and down, right? So my first month, I only think I spent about $250 in my first month of ad spend. And now I'm up to like $250,000 a month in ad spend. I mean, think about it. That's absolutely incredible. If you told me the first day, like, oh, just so you know, in a couple of years, you're going to be spending $250,000 a month. Like, way. I don't even have enough credit to do that. Right? And I mean, so as you build and build and build, you can't do it. Like, if I said, all right, I want to start my business and I want to spend $250,000 a month, I would have never started my business. So you got to start small, right? You got to start small and just keep increasing. That's all you have to do. In any business you want to do, in anything that you want to, it doesn't matter what it is. I guess a couple of things that they kind of said in the video, which was interesting. was, focus on your passion, right? You have to love what you do in life. Like they always say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? And so you'll be patient, do not quit, focus on a passion. For me, I gotta say, the passion thing doesn't work for me, me personally. I truly don't have a passion to do Facebook ads. I never had a passion to do loan brokering. I never had a passion to do loan lead flipping. I never had a passion to do online marketing and digital marketing consulting. I don't even have a passion to sell leads. My passion has always been to make money. And so it's a little different for me. I just wanted to make money. And I didn't care what I had to do, I'd figure it out. But I gotta be honest with you, I don't have passion. One thing actually I do now, and if you asked me this a couple years ago, I would have said, no, I don't have a passion for that. The one thing I do have a passion now is coming to Vegas. No, but I have a passion to actually help people and to see people succeed. Because here's one thing I actually mentioned to my wife. Now, I watch other people's videos. There's people out there living in $5, $10, $15 million homes, $20 million homes. They're making a ton of money. Some people I love watching. I love watching their videos, driving around, flying around in private jets, and they have 7 exotic cars lined up. I'm never going to be that person. The house I live in, I don't care if I make $100 million. I will never buy a bigger house. Maybe after my kids graduate from college, because we're never going to leave our town that we live in. And our town's very small. I gotta tell you, those houses don't exist in the town I live in anyway. I probably have one of the most expensive houses in the town, right, already, and it's not that expensive to begin with compared to these other guys. So I said to my wife, I'm like, I don't have that need to really make a lot. That desire to go out and make 10, 20, 50 million a year has dwindled. It's still there, but it's not as important anymore. Just because I just don't personally have, nothing's going to change. My life is not going to change. Hey, I might buy a more expensive car. I may go away more. But realistically, overall, my life's not going to change that much. So my goal is obviously just to, hey, be able to pay my bills every month, put money away for retirement, save as much money as I can. But this whole e-learning business is really cool. And I really want to see how far I can take it. And realistically, I've only been doing it for 6 months.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's really only been 6 months. And, I wasn't going to talk about this stuff in this video. We'll make a separate video on this stuff. But let's just go into that for a second. I know this video has gotten really long. And I usually don't do videos this long, but whatever. Let's look at the last 6 months. Now, think about it. I started this journey of building my brand in August. Let's just call it August. Let's see what's happened since August. Been on CBS 3 times, right? So I went once, then twice, and 3 times, obviously. But it didn't all happen at once, right? You did it once, you're all nervous, you got past it once, then you're like, all right, let's do it again. They're like, oh, let's do it again, right? So we did that 3 times. We got an article written on Innovate Long Island, which is a small local paper. You got to start somewhere, right? I mean, there's guys out there getting written up in, the best magazines and websites out there, Huffington Post and whatever. But hey, Innovate Long Island is not a big not a big site, but I have to start somewhere. So even though either way, I would have made, my $2 million last year, I got to say, but whether or not I did this, so, but in this business, I have to start small, right? So like I am pretty much the largest lead generator in the business loan space online. But when it comes to doing the e-learning space, I'm nobody, right? I'm very, very small. So I got to start small, right? So you got to understand that. So then we got into deepbank.com, which is a site specific for the business loan industry, merchant cash advance industry. That's very specific to that. And then from there, all of a sudden, we got interviewed by Forbes. And that happened in early December. Yeah. So, what else? Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. So now, and we have one more thing.
Yeah.
Right? But think about that, right? So from July to December, we went from getting on TV a few times, then doing the 2 articles, and the next thing, and these are pretty big jumps if you ask me, But
especially in the time frame.
But but you know what? It's do not quit. It's put the time into it, right? I'm not saying I sat on my ass and did nothing, right? And I'll tell you exactly what I did. So one day, I said to James, I'm like, hey, can you help me out with something? And I said, I wrote, it took me about an hour or so, I wrote about a 2-page summary business plan. I will never write another business plan in my life. I did it once and that was it. But I wrote a summary. And what I did was I emailed that summary, and James helped, and we went to every single every single investor that's ever been on Shark Tank and some others, like in Ashton Kutcher, whoever, A-Rod, whatever. Everybody we can think of. And all of a sudden, nothing happened. So about 2-3 weeks later, all of a sudden, you get an email from Kevin Harrington. Now, if you don't know who Kevin Harrington is, he's on the first couple of seasons of Shark Tank. It's worth about $450 million, and he started the whole As Seen on TV, right?
Exactly.
So the whole As Seen on TV, he started that whole thing. Very wealthy guy, knows what he's doing. I'm sure he does a lot more than just that, obviously. So they reached out and they said, hey, would you be interested in Kevin interviewing you and basically endorsing your business? They said they get about 100 plus proposals like I sent them every week, and they really liked it. And they said, can you come down to Florida on January 26th and do I guess they call it a mini infomercial, but it's really more like an interview, I'm assuming. So Kevin Harrington will interview me and pretty much endorse what I'm doing here. Obviously, they're gonna do some research and stuff on me, etc. So now go in 6 months. I went from basically just starting up a business, a brand new business I've dabbled in before, but never really tried to make anything of it, to now getting interviewed by a shark. So great. It's crazy, and if I never spent that one day and thought about it, said, all right, let me try this out. I had no idea if it was going to work. I really never expected. We did hear back from Barbara Corcoran's group, but they said they weren't interested. But it kind of opened up potential other doors, and we'll see if that leads anywhere. So anyway, so that's that. So it's interesting, and it's now I'm back to being nervous again. I was kind of like just cool with everything. Now I'm like, oh my God, like that's like a next level, right? Because really what's after that? What Fox News and all stuff. And I see other people in the e-learning space doing that. There's one guy that's on a New York Stock Exchange doing interviews. I'm like, that makes me nervous just even thinking about that. But I'm sure once they do this video or interview, whatever, now I'm going to be excited to see how much further, can you push the envelope? How much further can you push yourself? You don't understand. Like these are things I never thought in a million years I would ever do, and it's not something I have a passion for at all. But I know it's going to help make money, which that's my true passion, right?
So like you're getting out of your comfort zone. We brought that up before, and you're right. And then it's just looking for that next thing, and like just keep stretching yourself to keep growing. That's right. It's like, and today's January 7th, so it's the start of the year, and already you already have things lined up that would be going great. Fantastic. Yeah. And what I love is just sharing it with everybody. And that's like what you said, where your true passion has become like really showing others. And I know like when I tell you about my success, you're happy for me and everything. And then other people, when you hear about it, when they post on the Facebook group, you're always like, that's fantastic. So yeah.
No, there's someone that posted in a Facebook group, saying, hey, within the first, I think, few weeks, he closed his first deal, made about $5,000, and some other people, obviously, or a lot of people are having success, everyone in their own way. Success is relative, right? Your success and my success, it might be two different things. So, or what you see as being successful. Being successful could be, I just want to pay my bills, keep a low profile, make some money from home, hang out with your kids. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone's success is I want 7 exotic cars lined up, one for every day of the week. That's fine. For me, it's, being at home, spending more time with the kids, going on vacation, doing things. Listen, when I was in my 20s, I was all about buying things. I just had a lot of stuff. And it doesn't matter how much stuff you have, you always want more. It's not fulfilling at all. And now, having kids and going on vacations with them, and them having that experience. I gotta tell you, my kids in their first few years of life have gone on more vacations than my first 30 years of life. It's just they're having a totally different childhood than I ever had. But that's every parent, right? Every parent wants their kids to have more than them or go in a direction. And I always kind of scared of myself from giving them too much, to be honest. And you kind of run that fine line as a parent. So you just don't want those bratty kids and those spoiled kids, you know what I mean? And you got to kind of you hovering over that line, I guess you can say. I don't even know how to explain it, but anyway. So that's pretty much it. We've been talking for about a half an hour.
Yeah,
I think that's long enough. So we'll make some more videos while we're here, and we will try to have some fun as well.
Cool.
Anything else you want to say? Or you good?
Let's go to Top Golf.
We'll talk to you later.